Hi my fellow YouTubers, thank you again for just listening to this. It's only a quick intro. I just want to tell you that I'm already working on 2018 Teroscopes. So you guys can pre-order if you want to kind of take advantage of a much better price. At this stage, one individual sign is going to cost $19.95, and if you want all the signs, it's $39.95. So that way you can actually just put it in and wait for about December, I think 4th or 5th, when actually I'm planning to release them. And the prices will go up within a month, and then again within a month, for the full price being $30. So $30 and $50 versus $19.95 and $39.95. So hopefully you take advantage of that. You can just go to www.cattarot.ca/pre-order, and you're on your way. Thank you guys. And also, okay, hopefully I'll be seeing your orders for the annual Teroscopes, and let's jump into monthly November Teroscopes right now. Hi Sagis, and welcome to your November reading. So as you know, this is like a high level. With high level means this is how far you can soar. This is like what you can achieve. Also check in a few days is going to be sort of like ground level, where you can kind of like see what can come up really soon. So kind of lay off the land, kind of like my bi-weeklies. So it's more practical. This is like more for those of us who want to do the best we can do and amount to the most we can do in this life. This month is basically Scorpio month, but next month, guess who is first? You are. So the switch is happening. You're going to get a really big Teroscope. But in the meantime, let's just jump what we have for November for you. It is like pre-birthday month. So first of all, I drew a rune for you, and you got Kaunas, which is the rune of passion and insight. It is reversed though. So regardless of reversed or upright, this rune is still connected to love, and symbolically it is connected to a steady flame, right? Almost like a candle or torch. And it can be also likened to beacon fires, right? Or lighthouses. So the knowledge represented by this rune has little to do with anything that can be learned in a book, and everything to do with lessons that life teaches us. So what are you going to learn this month, my dear Sagis? So when she is in inverted position, like, I mean, this is the position, so I'm taking this as inverted. The light of this Kanuza fades, right? In love, that means possible affections are fading. It is asking you to let go of the past and be prepared to move on. I guess a more philosophical attitude would be to be encouraged. And you guys are like happy sign. You kind of like to land on your feet. So just remember this. Your personal story isn't over yet, and you can still rely on all these lessons that you have learned in the past. Right? This is just saying that this is your time for reassessment. So where do you go from here? Where do you want to go from here? The answer to the question is really important, because there is the wisdom to be gained, even when the outlook appears bleak. This in fact is a good rune to get, because if you get all these happy runes, literally kind of like you sit and relax. And that's what I had in Aquarius reading, like sort of like it looked like everything seemed to be so aligning this month. Stars have aligned, and I could see some Aquarians will just get lazy and not to continue on the path, and they're on a really good path. So this for you is also saying, look, you guys need to kind of like refresh. You guys need to kind of like start feeling your own kind of like power this month. At the same time, if something is not working, if there is no light on something, let it go. because if you don't let it go, you're not going to have room for something else. So the first card you got here is Forest. Oh my gosh, this card, it's just like what it looks outside. These beautiful fall colors, right? And it's a breath. Are you guys breathing properly? Do you know that breathing connects to many parts of our body that can actually heal? It's just like a water flows through basically earth. Breath flows through us. It is really, really important, because you see, we kind of like complement plants and they complement us, right? There is like this natural exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and this has been in balance for millennia, and this has been really, really affecting everything around us. So this is basically asking to really, really embrace both the nature and who you are. You need to kind of give yourself this ability to experience everything fully. You know, when they tell you take a deep breath, they actually mean that you need to relax, right? So if your breathing is too shallow, you know, maybe you started to fall into that, you know, unhealthy habit that kind of causes shortness of breath. Shortness of breath causes other things, such as panic and anxiety. So when you subconsciously shorten your breath, no matter if that's habitual or triggered by some event or circumstances, it activates certain physiological signals that kind of like gives this like a fight or flight, right? So another conditional response to perceived danger is to hold your breath. You know, I cannot breathe. They will hear me if I breathe. This is a survival response, even though it doesn't really survive, doesn't serve us. If you don't breathe, we don't survive. So, breathe. Inhale deeply, regardless of your concerns, worries, or problems, and then let it go. In and out. Remember, forest is a clear reminder. This is like looking at your lungs. Guys, this is really, really important. This is why I spend so much time on this forest card, because this is foundation of giving that to yourself. It has to happen in order to move further, because you will have certain strength this basically month. Look at this power. Like whenever we see this thunder or lightning, like it simply gives us this respect for the nature and everything that is happening. So now this power will be available to you. It's almost like the force of life itself. Power in itself is neutral, right? But power can corrupt, right? So keep thinking how you're going to allow things that will just come through you. You're going to get this bolt, thunderbolt of maybe knowledge, thunderbolt of aha moments. Yes, I can do it. This is requiring your intention. This is requiring your awareness. This is actually really asking you to kind of use this power for good, and not to allow yourself to get caught in this duality of good and bad. You always know what is the right thing to do. We have always come to the crossroads of life. How many times did we choose the right thing to do? Sometimes we don't, because it hurts. Not because we are mean, not because we are nasty. It is just like staying in a situation that really doesn't serve us anymore. Maybe having people around us, maybe having a job, maybe repeating the same bad old habits. You know, we need to all kind of like jump up and maybe do changes. This is definitely asking of you. And it's telling you, this month, I'm giving you these powers to do that. So remember I said this is really high level. This is how far and how high you can amount. Because the very last card is music. For those of you who actually go through it and who kind of like assess each other, yourself on daily basis, you're going to say, okay, wait a minute. You know, I can do it. I can do it. I can be better. So even if you fail, dust yourself off, keep going. That's the point. Because look, some of you will get into this harmony. This is really considerable time of harmony, because music is like one of the nicest inventions that humankind had, right? It is like balancing feelings, it is balancing body, right? So just think about all the sensations that you hear, and it's a natural music, it's a music in the nature, not necessarily just the one that we create. This also is actually really connected to breathing. You have musical instruments that actually really depend on it, right? And this is definitely asking again to control chaos. If you feel that you are maybe eye of the storm, and maybe either you're connected or the storm is coming toward you, again, let's go back to breathing is what's going to help. Because whenever you kind of like put your breath in, you know, just think of the life as a symphony. Think of these beautiful moments that we can all have and that we deserve to have. You guys have this power to have it. And when you exhale, just exhale all the negativity and everything that basically doesn't belong there anymore. Hi, Sophie. Hi, say hi to Sagis. Hi, say hi to Sagis. Huh? Are you a pretty girl? Are you a pretty girl? Are you a pretty girl? Look at how sensitive she is. She's not messing up the cards. Right? There you go. You had Sophie visit. So guys, then I pulled few cards from my Zen Ocho deck. This is, by the way, you ask me a lot. I think it is called Earth Magic Oracle cards, and this is an Ocho. These are Cat Mystic, I believe, deck, and these are Pixie Lenormand cards, Law of Attraction, Labyrinth deck, and Everyday's Witch Magic deck. So guys, now we are getting into really nitty-gritty, and you're getting this card, which in this deck, the swords are just like high-end, as I told you. Air signs are really the ones that are supposed to be pushing the ceiling and pushing the ceiling for the others. So you cannot be a pit bull and a bunny at the same time, right? So this is asking of you to push it, and this time you're pushing it inside. Like, this is becoming conscious. Look at these beautiful clouds. Just a few days ago I was observing the sky around Toronto, and it had like this like beautiful, exactly identical clouds. If you are on my Facebook, I posted that picture. It was just spectacular how nature can create such masterpiece. And this is the point. How aware are you around yourself? Do you know that you are not only affecting you, but you're affecting everybody you get in touch with, even waiting in the line in a grocery store? So when you choose this card, this means that there is a crystal clarity available right now that is detached and rooted in the deep stillness that kind of like really lies in the very core of your being. There is no desire to understand this from perspective of the mind. You see, the understanding that you have now, it's existential and kind of it's whole. It is basically in harmony with the pulse of life itself. And I can totally see how this is connecting to this music, because the music balances us. That's why whenever we go into nature, we simply feel the stream of consciousness. You guys are having your third eye open. This third eye is helping you now live beyond delusions, beyond feeling stuck, maybe stuck somewhere where you're not supposed to be stuck. Interestingly enough, the second card that showed up here was Thunderbolt, which kind of was like, wow. So they are given power, but if they use it, it's really not going to help them. So Sagis, check this out. You see, this card shows, look at this, being burned and destroyed and blown apart, right? And these guys are jumping off not because they really want to jump, but because they have to save their lives. They have no choice. In this background, can you see this? There is a transparent mediating figure, and guess what this represents? That represents witnessing consciousness. It's kind of waking up, right? We wake up from a dream. So something might happen, guys, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, as I never do. And this is possibly why this came through. Something will happen that might be pretty shaky. It's a good, every card is good and bad. Like every card has duality. Whether I am putting it upright or reversed, it's both of them have extra meanings. My cards are going to have more meanings than two. And by the way, thanks everybody who wanted to be a participant in my project. I have selected people, and I'm really, really grateful to all of you who actually are giving your hand. So let's go back here. There's good and bad. If you do not want to open your eyes, and you guys are here, you're walking this planet for a reason. You are a winner. Do you know how hard it was to create you? It was hard. Just go back to when that sperm has to fertilize that egg. Millions of them competed, and only you succeeded. Only that was the perfect match. So now this is saying, I'm not allowing you after all this creation to sleep. You know, and even if everything around you seems to be just the way you maybe wanted, it's going to be happening some kind of inner earthquake. And that's actually really necessary, and it's tremendously important, because if you allow it and you don't fight life, as they say, you know, you're going to emerge from the wreckage stronger and more available for new experiences. You know, just observe fires. Now we have fires everywhere in the world. Look at what happened in California. But after the fire, the earth is replenished, and after the storm, the air is clear. If you experience any kind of destruction in your life, try to observe it with some kind of detachment. Try to think it's happening to somebody else, right? And say yes to this process, because this process is going to benefit you. And now I see this on two ends. I see here that you are preparing yourself. Then you're going into some sharp turn. You know, when you drive and something happens and somebody jumps in front of you, that's sort of the feeling that's going to happen somewhere mid-month. But you're resolving this. You guys waking up. Because look at this. There is a celebration after all. And this is saying, listen, there are people here for you, and you are here for the other people. Don't forget that. There is this harmony and celebration with the other people. And when I saw the tarot cards, it was still saying an interesting story. There is the battle, and that could be that internal battle, wondering how to go, where to go, how to push it further. There is like a seasoned kitty warrior, you know. This kitty can maybe find some kind of hot stove and sleep there and find a warm spot in the sun. But the warrior is deciding to go further, and the warrior is deciding that, you know what, maybe it's not time to give up. Maybe I have to go yet another step. So there is like this dedication to something. But you have to ask yourself if this is something that you really want to do. This is Nine of Wands, by the way. This is death, for those of you who don't know these cards, because I know they're different. So the death is reversed. When death is upright, there is transformation that takes place. Yeah, I know, it was a movie that had this card reversed, but none of these cards in the movie has been properly explained other than the devil. So when this is reversed, it tells me that there is like some unnecessary suffering. It almost looks like you're fighting for something that is really not good for you, and it's not in your best interest. And that's why I see this consciousness card showing up. You need to kind of start seeing it from a different point of view, not from your heart point, from your third eye. What's the difference? Third eye tells us what is the best for us. Heart tells us what flesh wants. Very big difference. Because even in this deck, you're getting repetition. Because in this deck, this is Ace of Swords. Something really fast is going to really come down, because now this is coming in this category. It's going to be some kind of cutting. It's a very good card. However, it might kind of leave you in a shock. It's like something that you really didn't want to experience. Maybe something you didn't want to look into it. Maybe this suffering will stop. And it's going to happen just like that. And just after that, after recovery, after you get back on your feet, something really nice will happen. It's going to be this harmony. It's going to be this celebration. And this is like a soulmate or love to both, because this is 3 of Cups and this is 2 of Cups. These 2 cards, for those of you who are single, means something completely fresh. Means something completely beautiful. It means music and harmony in your life. But something is going to die before this starts. And something that dies is going to be the best thing that happened to you, because you're getting everything. This worries me a little bit that this is reversed, because the High Priestess, right, is basically also the one who has her third eye open. High Priestess is actually somebody who learns lots of things on their experiences. Hi, Zabby. And she is like one who kind of like really accumulates this knowledge inside. When High Priestess is reversed, there is like some kind of hesitation in absorbing new kind of knowledge, hesitation in learning about new things, almost stubbornly going back to the old principles. Beware, if you do not turn this around, you'll go back. You're going to be in this perpetual loop over here. You're going to go between thunder and this. When this opens up, you are actually living your higher purpose. So this is only thing that I see that this month some of you might be stubborn in holding on. Then you have the Moon, and of course this is a different deck, so don't even think that it's exactly the same meaning, because you have to really learn this deck. As you can see, there are shadows. We all have shadows in us. There is like some sense of, am I leaving something behind that I shouldn't be leaving, or I'm better off moving? But look at that, she has this innocent weight on her. This card ultimately is talking about negative convictions. Just do not allow things to stop you. You know, in the dark, sometimes we get scared. Sometimes we think, oh well, you know, maybe we shouldn't move because it is dark. No, this card says, you know, don't stop if something impedes you from realizing your potential, because you need to think big, because you're much greater than you think, guys. You don't look back. When you're running, if you're a runner, looking left or right, worst yet behind, slows you down to a point that, you know, you might be losing the game. So guys, again, this is a time to get into your own period. Get knowledge of who you really are. And it looks like some of you are really not going to do that. Some of you will just continue maybe living the life and maybe living the suffering that some of you have. If you're in a relationship, I'm sorry to say, but some relationships will die. But the good news is, maybe they're going to be reborn in something much, much better. Something that is right, something that is fate. This is your soulmate card, guys. This is like loving, utmost loving. And the card that you got in this deck is speak your truth. Be honest with yourself and others. Speak your truth at all times. This is the 5th circuit. The 5th circuit is talking about communication. And communication is connected to throat chakra, right? So this is talking about also creative expression. So now, guys, you have to ask yourself, can can you speak freely about what is on your mind? Or are you maybe withholding information? Because this now, I can see this could be you. Are you not willing to go deep because this is causing pain? Are you thinking that maybe something didn't happen in your life, or you have lost someone? If you had a choice between someone telling you the truth or not telling you, which one would you choose? Yeah, I'm asking you, Sagis. I'm a little Aquarian person here who, no matter how much it hurts, would take the truth anytime. Because I don't believe there are two sides of the story. I believe there is only the truth, and there is only one truth. So communicating is also about listening, right? You need to hear really what people tell you. We have 2 ears for a reason and only one mouth. So you have to listen twice as much. Also, this tells me that maybe you have fear of speaking and fear of speaking up. And if you do, it is time to balance your throat chakra. I'm starting to include this Reiki in these readings. So not only do you get information, but you're actually being healed while you're listening to this. So I really hope this helps you. However, with throat chakra, if you really need some specific kind of push, if you feel that communicating is not a great, contact me and we can talk about that. Also, I would advise to wear something blue, right? Bright blue, especially around the throat area. And remember, and I should maybe tell you, honesty is the best policy. So speak your truth while being possibly the most honest you can be and compassionate toward others. Remember, honesty can be delivered without cruelty, and this is the difference. Telling as it is, it's only the tip of the iceberg. You also have to find ways to say this. This is telling me that maybe you're keeping that secrets inside of you. Maybe you're not even admitting certain things to anybody. So it is time to kind of like start looking who you are, Sagis. What do you want? And what's going to work in your best interest. Okay. Now when I got rid of intruder, better to say she got rid of me. Let me see if I can give you the entire understanding. Wow, that's interesting. Again, I'm seeing certain thematic themes repeating. Look at this, we have a coffin here. We have love here. So this is something really strongly talking about that. And especially ladies, somebody might be offering you love, but there is a still way to it. And again, something has to die. So there is like this thing of this thunderbolt repetition, and this is also possibly here, this mountain to overcome. Most likely it's this what we have seen already. So the child, maybe some of you are somebody's patron, somebody who is quote unquote your child. Maybe you guys have been working on something for quite a while. This child can also mean that there is this new job, there is like new opportunity, it's a new motion towards something. You might be promoted, you might get your own department, it can be your brainchild, right? It could be just completely new project. Maybe it's going to be something really new happening in your life. Child generally refers to something good, something that has been brewing, something that has already been in process, and it's finally reaching the light, and it's finally really good. It's finally time to climb up. So this is telling me it's going to be a new contract, but for some of you, maybe it's going to be a different crossroad. It's going to be a decision, because one thing has to happen, but another thing has to die. So one thing will have to exclude another. It's kind of going to be a tough choice. And again, Do not suffer. Certain things are simply just suffering. You can see here this trajectory that you have. It's going to be rough, because it looks like to me that you will continue status quo. You will continue believing in whatever this is. But the sun is going to shine. You see, even here you can see this death is bringing light in itself. Even here you can see the day is coming. So things are looking up. Do not go back in the dark. Once when you open your eye, once when you get that consciousness, guys, and this is the consciousness really much itself as well. I see here are these kind of things that will prevent you. The mountain, your mountain is something that will happen in your case, a slip or fall, that's going to return you back to where you were because you didn't put your feet properly climbing up. So looking back is good, but looking forward is better. Looking forward is possibly the way to go. And it's saying, look, if you really want to continue, but if you keep doing the same things over and over again, you're going to get the same results. So be aware of that. You will receive a love offer this month. Really, somebody will enter your life who will be very special. And I think this is why this is saying, if you guys do not let certain things die, you will not be able to open this door. So think about that. If you're holding on to something, you're losing something really big, because look at that, you're getting it from both sides. And then this crossroads would mean eating your cake and having it too. You are, guys, opening your eyes. Open your eyes. It was this beautiful movie. I think it was with Penelope Cruz and Tom Cruise. It was a pretty good. Was it Open Your Eyes, or was it Vanilla Sky? Pardon me, Vanilla Sky. And the whole team was all about that. See, sometimes when I get my inspiration, I get inspiration from the movies because I see these archetypes. So guys, this is your key card. This is in the middle. You are chosen to be light. You're chosen to go up. Enjoy it. So the next, I'm going to do love forecast in addition to this. So let's go where we are going. Okay, so let's see. And I pulled already Lenormand, and I already pulled. Guys, you're really insisting to see them, don't you? Can I tell them what is happening here? Huh? Can I tell them? Here, let's show your pretty face. Okay, come on. All right, Sagis. Let's see what happens in terms of emotions this month. To start off, I see that some of you either been going through being subjected to some kind of rules from somebody else, or you started to kind of create your own rules and starting to kind of like wake up. You are a sign that is connected to spirituality, that is connected to philosophy. But this time, this is exploration, possibly something else, something different. It is something that is still resonating with your present. I also see that maybe either somebody put some kind of control on you. Maybe they are holding you under some kinds of sets of rules. And maybe you just need to relax over that. Or maybe you feel that you need to get a better control of your life and establish some new rules for yourself. New rules that maybe are going to get you in some kind of space where you can really get into this Zen mode. Maybe it was just too much happening. Then I'm seeing here this card, which is the Nine of Pentacles, reversed. She did put her mode of transportation here. And finally, she is actually reading a book. She kind of even looks like me. I even like my glass of wine and my book. But look, this is that forest, remember, that you see, that breath. Dang, this is what it is. It's again telling you, you are not giving yourself enough time to ground. it's literally calling you that you need to do that. And this is also for your spiritual and also for your love life. Something is probably happening right now that is not making you very happy. It's most likely the issue of some kind of domestic issues that is not really possibly going in the best direction at this time. This is a card of somebody who maybe wants to break free, but they are not free. This is also a card of somebody who is trying to get in a long-term relationship, but instead of realizing that the only way to go in a long-term relationship is to kind of be fully comfortable with who you are, and then kind of like merge with somebody else, because life together is not supposed to be like 100% engagement, that you are glued and you cannot live without each other. That's not going to last. You are supposed to be somebody on your own before you merge with somebody else. So there is like certain kind of like issue over there. You're like, you have to get back on your own feet, and looks like you will. You looks like are faced more to your work. You have like, just like the child that I saw there, something new will be happening. This is the card of expertise, because look at that. Example has been made, and they're like pupils here that are trying to replicate that, right? They're not doing such a great job, because this is talking about expertise. So you'll possibly be setting the stage for something. In love, this is talking about building. This is talking about teamwork. This is talking about being on the same page. This card kind of worries me. I like the Emperor in the reading, because Emperor is talking about firmness, balance, your own kingdom. But the Emperor, who has this pretty German Shepherd over here, has this mountain that he just overcame, right? And there is like this light that has to come through. For some of you, it's sort of like a motion forward. Maybe you really need to set your own foot down, put your foot down. Maybe you need to kind of move in a better direction to see what is the best for you. Whenever I see this card, I always say, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of loyalties do you want? And what kind of loyalties are you willing to give? This is not an emotional card. This is more or less kind of positioning, a strategy card. However, you guys, you know you're moving into something else. You see, with one foot in emotions and other foot in the air, in the spirit, you're moving in different thing, and you're sitting firmly on the ground, right? There is like this wave that is going to overcome you, and which already did. This was this wave of some kind of spirituality, not necessarily just tarot. It looks like you are involved with the other things. You're noticing things on the outside. You're noticing birds. You're noticing insects. You're noticing flowers. You're noticing this nature turning around. You just didn't realize that you actually are really connected. You are interconnected. Everything is happening, and you are part of it. You are here for a reason. Again, there are a few of us that are still feeling, let's say, injured. I don't like this card, and actually these cards were here. I don't know why. Probably Safi moved them. Seven of Swords is not a good card. Seven of Swords talks about I just can grab what I can grab. So because we actually had lots of swords, didn't we? We had swords in the reading here. And where is the other one? Where is my consciousness card? Because Safi was rearranging cards while I had a little pause over there. This is that awakening. This is about demanding the truth. Because this card is saying, when it's reversed, it's not as bad as the sneaky person who just like wants to take it and maybe keeping you in the dark. This is now talking about, okay, it's in a, maybe not so much epiphany, but sort of like speaking your truth, right? Just like you were told over there. This is like you are on the brink of big things. You have been entering this softly. Now you have to really reposition yourself. I see even in love there is lots of work that is included over here. Maybe some of you don't even want to think about love. Maybe some of you are saying, okay, you know what? I have to kind of ground myself here. However, certain truths will be coming to you. Somebody might even apologize. Somebody might say, I am really, really sorry, I get it now. And you have to go with that information when you hear it. You have to see if that was genuine. You know how you know if it's genuine? If people really promise you transparency, if they really promise and come up with a plan how to do things differently in the future. Just like shallow, sure, fine, you win, doesn't work. It's not going to work. This also could mean that you are going to answer some questions for yourself. Because I see here in your environment, some people will be coming really strongly on you. There is like this harshness. Page of Swords is not a bad card. It's somebody who is a messenger, somebody who also wants to know what is going on, right? You see, he has all these books. He wants to conquer the world. And this could be your young energy, kind of like pushing forward, right? Going forward. Because remember, bottom of the deck, here it was 9 of Wands, which I believe we had it before. So there is this strategy that has to happen in this period of time. And the strategy is going to be part strategy, part like what karma had in mind for you. It's going to be lots of facing your own truth as well as speaking your truth. You have to really work on communication on your 5th chakra. Certain things will need to be exchanged. And again, we were talking about these crossroads, guys. Remember, we had this in Lenormand. Whenever I see this card, it looks like very inconspicuous, but to me that's extremely important card, because each time you take a different turn, you're turning to a different reality. And even though we might be experiencing the alternate reality in parallel universe, most of the time these realities are bringing out the solutions. So you know, if you read basically biographies of all these famous people, you'll find that actually really weird things that they really took or they had to do that kind of maybe didn't even look productive at the time was basically that crossroads that it took it that eventually got them there. So this is really important. Your crossroads are happening this month. Very important. What will you do, Sagittarius? Are you going to conquer a mountain and allow things that are not working to stay? Why am I asking this and reiterating this point? Because I'm seeing that some of you here are not going to take advantage of this crossroads and to stabilize and to reaffirm your own rules. Because some of you are suffering. Some of you feel wronged. And you're still thinking about this a lot. Then this comes into your, excuse me, in your hopes and your fears. And it's 8 of Cups reversed. So somebody who walked away might be coming back. Is that a good thing, Sagittarius? You have to ask yourself, if something didn't work and you try it again and maybe again and maybe again, is this going to work now? You have to ask yourself. That's the system. Keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Here I asked clarification for these 2 cards, and I got this. I got 5 of Cups, which is sadness, and I got 5 of Wands, which is too many cooks spoil the broth. So there is instability. You really don't know where you stand. You don't know what you want, right? There is like this debate, a lovely debate, but this is you. This is you looking down. This is you looking at the spilled milk. Sure, there are maybe issues that, you know, have happened and maybe you're looking forward for this person coming back. But I'm saying this is for some of you who are not going to take this crossroads toward a new path. So this is showing me the crossroads, we're going back. What's going to happen? There's going to be sadness. But look, looking up, having this new path is this joy. Is literally the crossroad, guys, you are having here. One way goes here, another way goes here. And guess what? You see there on the table? There are 2 cups on the table. And guess what is 2 cups? It's a soulmate. It's not the one you are sad about. It's somebody else that's going to bring you happiness and joy. So remember this. But staying in the situation, you're closing yourself to something really wonderful. Because it tells me that the energy right now that I'm getting from many of you tends to go back to the old issues, and these old issues will continue to be sad. These old issues are sort of connected to even part of self-esteem, and it kind of feels like beating a dead horse, not going anywhere, not kind of like reaffirming who you are. Some of you might even feel that you're not good enough, and you're not tall enough, that you're not, slim enough, you're not young enough. Because this is the card that is also connected to physicality, to how we look. The truth is, again, look at that. Which way will you go? He has a tower one way, remember? You had a tower. And even though this tower is not something that most of us want, for you guys, literally, tower is going to be beneficial. Let me just clarify that page. Oh my gosh. So if you overcome this, if you overcome this kind of like feeling stuck and feeling sorry about yourself, there is like this zest and how to overcome. Look at this, it's literally looking two different ways. These are your crossroads here, can't you see it? The pants are the same, you're wearing the same shoes, you're wearing the same pants, but you are having a different map. Something that used to work before is no longer working. And this is especially more so for those of us who are living in Northern Hemisphere. I see a different season here as well. So there is a fire. There is a fire, there is your own fire. There is your fire in the belly that you need to follow. Remember? Getting in touch with the nature, here it is. It is asking you to kind of like go to that harmony. Follow me, the cat says. Follow me. Follow my music. Follow my meow. And the second card was this. Six of Swords. Look at that. This person doesn't feel unhappy. This person feels, okay, I am getting to the safety. I'm following this full moon. So something has been planned and it's coming to fruition. So guys, your choices are clear. This moon you also had over here. It's telling you it's going to be unknown. And it's going to appear tapping through the dark, but that's the path. And do not look back. Don't slow down. So guys, free will tops any reading, and this choice is really up to you. What will you do? How will you do it? Are you going to tap into something? Are you going to decide to put an end to something that was not productive, didn't work, you're in your teeth, and go through your tower moment? Or will you just continue with things and have the same thing month after month? It is up to you. At some point you have to say, I come first. Because remember, this is another choice. I don't see, and this might be, by the way, with the same partner, but something has to die. Things have to be renegotiated, because this is the card of negotiation. You are getting this new consciousness. You are kind of speaking your truth. It is really important, because after all this kind of lighting and issues, the sun starts to shine, and you have to focus on what is ahead of you. Guys, you are the light, you are the power this month, and this is just a trajectory. You can do whatever you want to do. You definitely have this possibility of going to harmony, but it's not going to be just like all without thorns. It's going to have certain things, bumps in the road. So lastly, to seal the reading, I drew one more card from the Enchanted Map, and what I got is a wishing well. And it says, desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now, you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It's an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate, or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The Wishing Well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well, and then trust in spirit and prepare to be amazed. Guys, give yourself this light, give yourself ability to move forward. Just think about it. You can do it this month. It's a big, crucial month for you. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, in a really, really shining light. So my dear Sagittarius, I hope if you're still here with me that you're going to give me up and down. That's all I'm asking for, you being here, and I would really greatly appreciate that. And if you want your private reading, please contact me at www.cattarot.ca, and I would love and love and love to hear your comments. Okay? And until the next time, I love you. Show your pretty face. Show? Shabby, shabby, shabby. Shabby. Isn't she pretty? Isn't she super pretty? But when I tell her she's pretty, she doesn't care. She just wants to hear that she's smart, because she's one smart kitty. Yes, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Oh, pretty girl. Pretty girl. Pretty face. Little pretty face. Pretty face. Look at that gorgeous big whiskers. Yeah, boxing, 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 boxing. Big paws, big paws. Where's this blue face? Blue face. Yes, my pretty Siamese. Oh yes, it is yours. It is yours. It is yours. Okay, I have to cut this at the end of this video, okay? Where is this? Where is this? Good, Jeffy. Good, Jeffy. Good, Jeffy. Say hi. Say hi.